What's up guys, Anthony here with Empire Music and EmpireMusic.com, and bringing you the third part of our buyer's guide for the holiday season, at least from the bass perspective, which is my area of expertise here in the shop. And today we're talking about the majority of the American series here from Fender. When we think of Fender, we think of that name, you think of super iconic instruments, super important instruments to the evolution of Western music, rock and roll music, rhythm and blues. None more iconic than always their American lineup. So you think of like what they would bring out as like their flagship instruments. It's the sound that you recognize, it's the feel that you always recognize. They never get too far away from that, even though they've kind of evolved over the years. And today we're gonna break down some of the specs and the uses of those instruments and who they're good for, because we understand that this is kind of a different year as far as retail is concerned in 2020. So you might not be able to make it into the shop. So we want to kind of bring that experience to you via YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, wherever you're watching this. And keep in mind, always follow us on any of those outlets that you're seeing it on, please. Also keep in mind, we do 0% interest financing on everything in the shop. Also, we do a pro setup. We hammer this point home because it's really important to us. It's something that we take a lot of pride in, is making sure that you get an instrument out of the box that plays fantastic. So every instrument that we ship, guitar, bass, any price point, $2,200, pro setup done on that guitar. So, quick overview of what we're gonna see. There's gonna be two types of basses, and if you're looking in the American series, you're probably familiar with this, but just to kind of reiterate it, the Fender Jazz Bass, 2 pickups on it. A little easier to play because it's a more narrow string spacing here at the nut. 3 distinct tones out of this. You get one out of the neck pickup, one out of the bridge pickup, or both together. Great, super punchy. If you play a lot of slap stuff, that's a cool instrument for you. And then the icon, Fender Precision Bass. Quick differences between the two. Single pickup, wider at the nut, so a slightly more demanding instrument. My favorite, I'm a P-bass player, the great James Jamerson. A ton of tones that you're familiar with come from the P-bass, and this was also Leo Fender's first design. This is essentially the first electric bass. So let's dive into the Fender American lineup, and hopefully we can guide you through it. The newest addition to the Fender family is the American Professional 2 Series. These are professional level instruments that draw from Fender's lineage of innovation and ability to evolve in order to meet the demands of today's musician. If you're looking for a true workhorse instrument, then search no further than this new series that draws upon modern inspiration while never getting too far away from the traditional Fender style and feel. The American Professional 2 Series is available in both precision and jazz bass models. Features include a 34-inch scale length, alder bodies with a gloss polyurethane finish, V-Mod 2 pickups which offer an amazingly even tonal response across the entire instrument, 4-saddle high-mass vintage bridge for increased sustain. These offer both string-through and top-load options. A contoured neck heel, maple necks with either a 63C profile in the case of the Precision Bass or a Slim C in the case of the Jazz Bass. A supernatural satin urethane finish, and Posiflex graphite rods for neck reinforcement. 20-fret maple or rosewood fretboards with rolled edges and a 9.5 radius, narrow tall frets, a bone nut, lightweight vintage-style tuning machines with tapered shafts. These instruments come with a deluxe molded hardshell case. Next is the American Ultra Series. These instruments provide maximum versatility and the most modern features that Fender offers. With both active and passive modes, it's possible to dial up just about any tone right from that bass. The American Ultra Series is also available in both precision and jazz bass models. Features include a 34-inch scale length, alder or ash bodies with a gloss polyurethane finish, ultra noiseless vintage pickups, an ultra contoured heel with 5-piece bolt-on neck, maple necks with a modern D profile and a satin urethane finish, 21-fret maple or rosewood fretboards with rolled edges and compound radius that starts at 10 at the nut and flattens out to 14 past the 12th fret. And lastly is the Fender American Original Series. These instruments are perfect for players looking to get that sound and style of Fender's most iconic and collectible eras, but without the vintage price tag. Each model pulls the best and most sought-after features from a particular decade. The American Original Series is available in 50s and 60s precision basses and 60s and 70s jazz basses. Features of this series include a 34-inch scale length. The 50s and 60s models offer alder bodies with gloss nitro lacquer finishes, while the 70s jazz bass features an ash body with gloss urethane finish. Era-specific pure vintage pickups, 4 saddle period accurate vintage style bridges. So I hope that sheds a little bit of light on the American series stuff from Fender. Iconic instruments. If you're looking for really a workhorse of a bass, if you're looking for a bass that can fit into just about any musical situation, never gets away from the traditional sound of bass guitars. Anything out of the American lineup is going to fit the bill perfectly, whether it's a professional, passive bass, an Ultra that gives you active or passive, or the American original that really nails a ton of like the vintage vibe out of the instrument. I love those. I love those instruments a lot. I think they're great values there. There's something in the American series for you, for just about any player. So call me at the shop, 412-343-5299. You can email me directly, anthony@empiremusic.com. Pro setup on every guitar, as I said at the top. I'll say it again. Regardless of the price that you pay for the instrument, we do a pro setup on it before it ships, ensuring hopefully that you or your gift receiver is going to get that right out of the box, and it's going to be super playable for you. Subscribe to us on YouTube, turn the notifications on, and happy shopping, guys.